Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Appello. George Conner on my left. All Sports Talk with Joe and George. We're here.
I'm back.
George is back.
Took a week off.
Week off. We didn't Wally Pip him, but we kept him back anyway.
Went down to Long Island. It was beautiful.
Yeah?
No, it's awful down
You
there.
don't want to come back?
I couldn't wait to come back and see you.
All right, we're going to congratulate UVA, University of Virginia, and Baylor University for their championships in the NCAAs.
Being a George Mason guy, I was not happy to see UVA
George
win.
Mason,
I got
they didn't do well, did they?
Well, they didn't do well. But we have a kind of a Napoleon syndrome against UVA. we're the stepsister.
You know, UVA was kind of like destined after losing the first round last year to Baltimore, Maryland.
UMBC.
Yeah, University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yeah. That was like a double whammy because not only were you the 1 seed losing to a 16, it's kind of like nearby.
Yeah, first time ever.
Yeah.
First time ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to come back all the way back from that to win the NCAA, it was kind of like a team of destiny. They got lucky in the one game when was it Purdue when the guy tapped the missed free throw back and the Kinty hit the tying shot. And,
there was a lot of, I mean, not just with UVA, but a lot of really, close games that where the winning team got lucky.
Yeah.
Duke got lucky every game until they lost.
Yeah, 2-3 in a row they lost.
Teams missing layups and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then
did you go to the games in Hartford?
No.
That was kind of exciting. It was. It's been a long
guys
time.
That did. They said it was fun. Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
NCAA kind of screwed up the schedule a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize it's 2 separate tickets. So some guys you buy tickets for everything, but regardless, after the second afternoon game, they had to clear the arena.
Kick you out and then bring it back in. Yeah.
And the second game ended like 40 minutes before, and the TV's not going to wait. So boom. Because I was watching the Villanova had the early game that Thursday night, and I'm watching it, and the lower bowl is like half empty. I'm like, come on, you would think it'd be full, but they couldn't get in.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And then I do the same thing at the state championships Mohegan Sun. They have one game concludes, they literally kick you out.
Yeah.
You really can't even celebrate. And I know the kids at Farmington a couple weeks ago, they couldn't even cut the nets down. They didn't let you cut the nets down
really?
Because they wanted to put the nets back up for the next game. It was kind of that's part of the fun. They go up on the ladder and celebrate there.
Yeah.
And one of the kids was telling me, Jake Smith was telling me that he was taking pictures of his family, and then they were like, come on, move on, get out.
Hey, congratulations, get out.
Yeah, get out. Yeah, you're a state championship, get the heck out. We got another game on.
Hit the bricks.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
I watched the Baylor, well, first of all, UConn got beat.
Notre Dame.
Friday night by Notre Dame. That was a tough game. They actually had a 9-point lead, with a 7-point lead with 9 minutes to go, or 9-point lead or something, one or the other.
Yeah, vice versa,
And they couldn't hold on, and Notre Dame kind of Notre Dame was pretty big, a little bigger than them, and I think that was one of their downfalls here. They didn't have the size to compete against some of these teams. I mean, Baylor's front line was Kalani Brown was 6'7", and Lauren Cox is 6'4". I mean, they got 2 bigs. Most teams don't even have one.
Yeah.
And then Mississippi State had Tara McGowan, and she's another one 6'7". So I mean, some of these teams have at least one big girl, and these girls are very athletic for their size, and they really clog up the middle, and you can't get anything. You go to the basket, and they're going to swat it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was, and UConn. I think it's funny because in the women's basketball, it's like not all the great players are going UConn like they used to. They used to get the top 2 or 3 players in the country. Now they're going to South Carolina, going to Mississippi State.
Which had to happen. We've talked about this before, but if every time the UConn women play, it's they're winning by 30.
And who wants
to watch?
Is it a statement to society how Gino is a certain way he is, and he's probably one of the toughest, not the toughest coach in the country, that kids don't want to put up with it. I kind of believe that
possible.
They're like, I mean, they want to play and all that, but they don't want to hear all his sarcasm and criticisms, and he's tough.
Yeah, he is. And how long has he been there now?
25 years.
So in some ways too, he's created the competition.
Yeah.
Because before he got there, how many girls across the country were really working hard to play Division I basketball?
Right.
I got to think there's a lot more now than there was when he got started. So he's kind of created that, hey, this is on national TV. It's a big time thing. So in a way, it's kind of like, you know,
Right. Well, the other
more
thing
so
too,
than what happened
right.
with the Tiger Woods effect.
And the other thing
golf.
too is like the situation with the women is that you kind of had the top 2 or 3 players, and one of those 2 or 3 players had to be 2 or 3 players on their own team.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of them realize I want to go to wherever I want to go, and I want to be the top player.
You want to be the top player, yeah.
Not the third or fourth. I don't care, even though you might win.
As a coach, you want to make sure that you don't have somebody who's the clear top player because you need everybody to work hard.
Right. Yeah. So I think this happens a lot. A lot of kids were like, hey, I want to go to UConn, but then, like, I think it happened a lot. The girl from Oregon is going to stay to be her senior year. She's projected to be one of the top picks in the WNBA, but it's the Baylor. The Baylor Notre Dame championship was a good game. Actually, it was ended up being a 1-point game. Lauren Cox, who's their 6'4" forward, I guess, power forward, had MCL sprain in her leg about 5-6 minutes ago, and that provided Notre Dame with the opportunity to come back all the way, and they almost pulled it off.
Yeah.
Bumake missed 1 or 2 foul shots at the end. With I think 2 seconds ago, she got fouled. They were down by 2, and she made 1 out of 2, and that was it.
Yeah.
But that was it was actually entertaining, good basketball. And UConn beat Louisville before that, though. That was another good win for them. But yeah, it's really not a bad thing for them to lose once in a while. It really isn't.
No, not at all.
It's good for a sport, and I think it's he's won enough. He's won 11 of them. I mean,
Yeah, and like I say, if you know the outcome before the game starts, well, what's the point in watching?
Yeah, and there was some good basketball, good offenses, and you're moving up and down the floor, and they're really good players.
Yeah.
But so PGA's coming up. What do you got going on there?
We got the Masters coming up. So we're filming this on what is today?
Today is the 10th.
The 9th, 10th. So it's par 3 tournament today.
Wow.
There's a par 3
for
golf course.
For pay and everything. I mean,
Nah, it's just a ceremonial type thing. It's a fun day.
All the guys in the Masters are playing this.
Everybody in the Masters is playing it. Anybody who's ever won the Masters.
Explain what a par 3 is to our audience.
Oh, a par 3.
I know what that is.
A par 3. So par in golf is basically the assumption is it gives you 2 putts. So on a par 3, what they're saying is you can hit the green with 1 shot.
1 shot. How far
it's
the
a shorter hole?
Less than 2 yards, is it?
On the golf course, they'll be anywhere from, for the PGA Tour guys, they'll be anywhere from 150, which is very short, to 250.
250.
The par 3 course at Augusta,
So a good hitter can
played it a couple times.
Can make it.
Yeah, so you can get there in 1. 2 putts is a 3. Par 4 is going to be a longer hole. It's going to take you 2 shots to reach the green, and 2 more putts, and then there's par 5s, which for normal people takes.
Working your short game is basically what it is, right?
Well, the par 3 course is, like I say, it's a ceremonial thing. So anybody in the field is going to play in it. Anybody who's ever won, even if they're not going to play in the tournament, they can come back and play.
Oh, okay.
And it's really fun if you get a chance to watch it on
TV. They have a total separate par 3 course at the Masters.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of you'll have a wife caddying for the player, a son. In Jack Nicklaus's case, grandsons and things like that. Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus play every year together. Of course, Arnold Palmer used to be in that group as well. So that's going on today. Just kind of a fun day. There's a hex. There's a hex, Joe. If you win the par 3, nobody who's ever won the par 3 tournament has gone on to win that Masters.
Wow.
So, and there's actually been guys that are, golfers are a pretty superstitious lot anyway. So the guy's got a great round going. And on the last hole, he'll make sure he'll make like a 5 or a 6.
I actually thought years ago the par 3 courses would catch on to be popular because it's a shorter game, quicker. Little kids could play.
Yep.
And I thought, I know in Pennsylvania when I went to college they had a lot of the par 3s around, and it was you go there, you could play quick 9 holes. In
very
an hour
few
or
around
so.
here. Westwood's over in which is the town of Farmington Golf Course. They have I think 1 par 5, a scattering of par 4s, and a lot of par 3s.
Okay.
But I agree. It's a good way to kind of get introduced to the game.
Yeah. It's
faster because that's one of the things that they say is why more people don't play golf because it takes a long time.
A long time, yeah.
And the other thing too is you don't need as much land.
But if you're not any good, you chase the ball a little place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I say, you don't need as much land that way either.
Yeah.
So it's
cheaper probably.
Yeah.
And all you need was a driver, an iron, and a putter.
Well, par 3, like an honest par 3, you're going to need. A good one, you need a lot of clubs. There's pitch and putts, but that's another thing. Okay. So anyway, so the par 3 is the first Wednesday, and then Thursday.
Pitch and putt was what I was
Friday. Thursday, Friday is.
Pitch and putt was what I was thinking. I was thinking more of that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Augusta, the par 3 course, the The second hole is like 60 yards.
Oh, wow.
The first one's, I don't know, like 120 or something like that. Okay. And then they get a little dinky second
all
hole.
par 3 or less on all the
Well, there's nothing less than a par 3.
Oh, okay.
And then three through 9 are good holes. 8 and 9 both go across the pond and stuff like that.
Okay.
But again, ceremonial there, and then tomorrow morning starts the.
So who's the favorite to win the Masters?
Rory, according to the boys out in Vegas, okay. Rory McIlroy's
entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only. Rory's he's got the lowest odds.
Okay.
Tiger's surprising.
Now, why would he be considered the favorite?
He's been playing really well.
Okay.
He's obviously one of the top 10 players in the world, okay. I would say.
Because anyone can win in theory, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's 90 some guys in the field. There's probably 40 that would have a chance to win. You get the Masters is a kind of a different field. It's a smaller field. If you've won the tournament, you can play up until the time you're 60 years old. So there's a lot of guys.
Oh, okay.
They're 58 years old.
So once you win it, you have like your grandfather in forever and ever.
Well, until you're 60. Used to be forever now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then they invite. So if you win the U.S. Amateur, if you finish second in the Amateur or runner-up, if you win the U.S. Mid-Am, the U.S. Senior Am, there's an Asian Amateur championship, and they invite this guy over, and then there's a Latin American one. So it's a pretty diverse field.
Who's the oldest Masters champion?
The oldest living Masters champion?
I mean, who was the oldest guy to win the Masters, I should say?
Oh, Jack Nicklaus.
Really?
46 years old.
Wow.
Yep. 1986, I think it was.
Good job by you.
So
I had you there.
Yeah. So Rory's the favorite according to Vegas. Tiger Woods has some pretty short odds. He's 25 to 1.
No, that's not bad.
I think last I saw it was 25 to 1. I like Tommy Fleetwood. I'm going to go on a limb here. Yeah. I'm just going to keep picking him for every major, and eventually he's going to win.
Sure, hit it. Yeah.
But I think Rory and Fleetwood, who are two players I enjoy watching, both been playing really well leading up to the Masters, and that's how golf kind of works. If you're a casual golf watcher and you think, okay, well, when Tiger Woods was at his best, he was going to win almost every week. Yeah. Normal golfers, they get in streaks. And so you kind of, if you're gonna bet a couple sugar packets or something on golf, you want to look at who's been playing well, and then there's going to get to a point where they start to fall off.
Okay.
The only detraction for I say Rory's chances of winning is he just won the Players Championship not too long ago. You tend not to win real big events one after another.
That's in South Carolina, is that where it is?
Georgia. Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, beautiful place. Been there a number of times. Never been there for a tournament, but I got to play there. So if you're a golfer at home, I got to play there. So you're a little jealous, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like the best golf course ever.
It was the most memorable golf course ever.
Wow.
And I think a lot of it, and the Masters is the one major that's always at the same golf course for the men. The women play what's now the A&A. Used to be the Kraft Nabisco, used to be the Dinah Shore. That's their major that they play at the same golf course. So you kind of know the golf course before you know.
The other thing I like most, I watch a lot of golf, but what I liked most about it was that walk up the bridge there at the end, to the clubhouse when they get the green jacket.
Is there a bridge? There's no bridge, but
there's like a walkway or something in there.
Yeah, like a walkway coming from the clubhouse over to. They do the presentation in Butler Cabin.
Okay.
For TV. Then they go outside on the putting green. They do it again.
Oh, okay.
So the guy gets his jacket on, and then he takes his jacket off. Then he goes outside. But a lot, steeped in tradition, and Bobby Jones, built the golf course, and
I'll ask you, Patrick
Reed. Patrick Reed, yeah.
Most disliked guy in golf, or one of the most disliked.
Well, he's up there. He's up there. Yeah, he's not everybody's friend. He's he can rub people the wrong way.
Okay.
He's been playing horrible.
Wow. Okay.
But he'll go back and. So here, I'm not saying he's going to miss the cut, but here's an uncomfortable thing. So if you're the defending champion, last night they had a dinner, champions dinner, and the most recent past champion or the defending champion, he gets to pick the menu, and it's been all over the place. It's been from barbecued ribs to filet mignon, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So he gets to pick the dinner. Now he also has to put the jacket on the champion on Sunday night, and it has happened on occasion where the defending champion misses the cut. Instead of being able to leave town on Friday and just go home and relax for a while, he's got to hang around while all these guys finish, just so he can sit there and put on the green jacket.
Walking off, shucks, I played very well. Here you go.
There you go.
There you go.
But
nice. Yeah, it's just all weekend. Nice.
And every once in a while, they, Nick Faldo won it back-to-back. Tiger Woods won it back-to-back, I think, 03, 04.
Wow.
So then they'll pick somebody from the
Like with
club.
back-to-back MVPs or back-to-back World Series, that's tough to compete.
So you don't put your jacket on yourself, So they'll come up with another past champion or something.
Right,
something like
that
that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
All right.
great, good weekend to watch TV for me.
Now, baseball, we'll do a quick baseball rundown.
Let's take our time when we talk about the National League East.
Yeah, well, we'll talk NL East. The Red Sox are holding up the rest of the league, and the NL East, which is AL East, which is interesting. And the Tampa Bay Bucks are the Devil Rays. Are on top. They're 9-3. The Red Sox are 3-9. So tough start for those Red Sox. Get that Super Bowl hangover. World Series hangover.
World Series hangover, maybe. I don't know. Is that a thing in baseball?
Yeah, I think in almost every sport where you're defending champion, because they get the target on their back and everyone's play well.
But unlike, it seems like in football, when you win the Super Bowl, a lot of your key players go.
Yeah.
If they're getting close to contract years, they cash in on that.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like the Red Sox really made much of a roster.
I think one of the biggest things in all sports is you almost have to re-energize yourself the following year, and the Red Sox didn't do that at all. They have the same roster. Not that that's a bad thing.
Because maybe you don't have roster.
Maybe you don't have that hunger, that desire, that little extra edge you need.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like so far. Obviously, it's early, 150 games to go, but they started on the West Coast, which is a tough way to start,
Yeah, they started at Oakland?
Yeah. And then they have concern with their pitching, though, because Chris Sale he was 89, 90 miles an hour the last couple starts.
Yeah.
For him, he was always 95, 96.
Yep.
And he just signed that long-term 5-year deal, so they're probably a lot of concern about that. And Porcello has been getting lit up, too. Craig Kimbrell is still out there unsigned, which is interesting.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, and then
Mets don't need him. We're locked up. We're good to go.
There was some talk that they were looking to anyway. But and Dallas Keuchel too, same thing. He's still out there.
Yeah.
They're just sitting. What are they doing? Sitting home watching TV? What are they doing?
They're
not in the minor leagues or anything.
Kind of working out.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Staying sharp because somebody, it's only a matter of time. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Somebody, yeah.
And then the phone's going to
ring.
Well,
Gino Gonzalez signed with the Yankees, and he in the minor leagues. The first day he pitched in the minors, he got ripped. He got lit up like a Christmas tree. But the second time, his last start was very good. He was 6 shutout innings. Yeah. But it's obviously, it's his first game back in spring training for him. Mm-hmm. But he might be a factor coming down the road because the Yankees lost Severino for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
Is that because last I heard they weren't sure how long? Is that?
Well, the first thing was a labrum irritation
shoulder
or something.
labrum.
But this is something totally new with them. It's some kind of bleep thing. So. They just shut him down for 6 weeks, so that's rough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they had. Well, I guess the positive you're looking at is you can bring up your younger guys and see what they got. They got a couple of good young kids that they're looking at. Mm-hmm. Lorenzaga and German. So we'll see what they can do. But the Yankees have a rash of injuries. My God, they got 11 guys on the.
Yeah.
On the.
What they do? Get the Mets trainer?
Yeah, I think so. They trained him or something, but yeah, they've got. And Ellsbury, still, God knows where the heck he is.
He's been
sitting there
hurt forever.
spending his money, yeah. And then Betances, I guess he's almost back. And Stan is getting close. And then they lost Andujar last week.
Yeah.
So they got some key injuries. And I watched last night. It was funny. They had first and second with no outs in the against the Astros in game two of the series, and Gardner was up there. And he bunted, right? So he bunts. The ball hit home plate and went about 3-4 inches from home plate. He stood there. So the catcher gunned it down to second, got forced to second, and threw to first. Double play.
Could have rolled it.
So he went from maybe second, third with 1 out on a successful bump to first and third with 2 outs. And he didn't score. And he just stood there like, oh, I thought it was foul. The little things like that are just
yeah.
And they add up when you're not
run and wait to hear the umpire call.
Yeah. And they always come back. But
and that's that's very un-Yankee like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardner looks.
Always had that culture.
He really looks his age too. He doesn't really. He doesn't look that strong. But they had Clint Frazier playing left field now. He misplayed a ball last night. It was a catchable ball, but it didn't go in as an error. But he came in on a big situation, 7th inning, and misplayed a ball. And he didn't catch the ball. I shouldn't say misplayed it. And, that kept it going and had him winning the game for the Astros. But Yeah, and the Mets are doing well.
Yeah,
They're holding
now
on.
we're
Talking about the
talking.
Mets. They're
Got off to a hot start.
6-3, game behind the Phillies
Yeah.
in the NL East.
Only a game back.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is April 10th, so last night all the streaks of Jacob deGrom, came to an end.
And you called it too.
I did.
You did call it.
I
asked
did.
about that, and he said, sooner or later.
Yeah,
And he
at
did.
some point. So he had gone before the start. He'd gone 26 innings, scoreless. He'd thrown 31, I believe, consecutive quality starts,
Amazing.
and 29. I think it was 29 starts with 3 runs or
Now,
less.
what happened in the game yesterday? I didn't see anything about
Just
it. I guess.
hanging curveballs. I mean, I'd watched him the start before, and I was texting you during that start. Now, granted, it's against the Marlins. They're not a great team,
Right.
but these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to be baseball players.
Major league players, yeah.
And he just makes them look foolish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got between the fastball, curveball, and then just a changeup that's got crazy amount of movement.
Yep.
I mean, there's so much movement on the ball, and these guys they're missing the ball by 2 feet.
Yeah.
And last night everything was just really flat, which I remember when Tommy Glavine towards the end of his career was I'm not going to compare him to Jacob deGrom, but he was that type of he was a pitcher, not a thrower.
Yeah, he
it
evolved.
was all based on deception and movement
evolved,
and everything else like that. If he's too rested, the ball comes out. The off-speed stuff doesn't move.
move as much,
It comes out a little too fast.
Yeah.
And this time of year, I think I'm not making excuses. It's just math. At some point he's going to get knocked around. But you have a lot of off days and things like that. So you're not going on 4 days rest.
Pete Alfonso's been playing well.
Oh yeah,
doing very
what a
well.
nice surprise.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I shouldn't say a surprise, but a nice little
He's
bonus.
got a chance. He got a chance to play.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah. He and Dom Smith actually.
Yeah, Smith's doing all right.
When he hit his first home run. Now they're kind of competing for playing time, but it was nice to see in the dugout the two of them had like kind of the coolest celebration after his first major league home run.
McNeil's been doing well too.
Yeah,
Been playing well.
Yeah.
Nice to see those young guys get a chance.
yeah, and they're scoring a lot of runs, which is nice because we've talked about Cespedes and if he comes back, and you got to assume that he's not. But without Cespedes, who last year was really the only offensive production that they
I
had.
don't think they're counting on him at all.
But they're scoring runs. I mean, even Wheeler got dinged up over the weekend, and it was, but they still came back.
And they had, Robin.
They were down big, but they came back. They scored 9 runs, and they had a chance in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him score
A
runs.
big factor too. Robinson Cano is a professional hitter right in the middle of the lineup, and I think he makes everybody better. I think.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me about the Yankees, I don't watch them too much, but I watched 2 or 3 games, and they try to hit the ball out of the ballpark every single bat. And if they have to play small ball or if they have to build around, they have trouble doing that.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's just
I think and that's one of the reasons I really don't enjoy watching American League Baseball is because that's kind of all it is.
That's all it is.
And I think
Strikeout or home run.
you have to. I think it's learning to have the patience to play small ball, but you have to have the players to play small ball.
Then you watch them play the Astros the last couple of years. And Astros can build around if they have to.
Yeah.
They steal a base. They hit a ball out of the ballpark, but
They hit
go
to the
opposite
opposite
way.
field. Yeah,
Yeah, they do all the little things, and they beat you.
Yeah.
But they Astros have a good team because Astros picked up Michael Brantley from the Indians. He's a good player.
Okay.
He's batting second for them. And they have Bregman and Carlos Correa and then Altuve, and they're still strong.
Yeah.
They get Riddick, and they're still a good team. They got their pitching. Garrett Cole was tough last night. And they have Verlander. The Yankees had Verlander on the ropes on Monday night, but they couldn't hold him.
Yeah.
They only had him. They had him going on. But I think the Yankees, when they get healthy, they'll be fine. But who knows when it happens? And I think missing Stanton out there. You're missing that big. When you have a big player, a good hitter in the middle of the lineup, it just pitchers always conscious that they know when he's coming up.
Sure.
A pitch around him.
The guy in front of him gets better pitches.
And helps everybody else.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think it's a big factor. But we'll see what happens. Their bullpen, he's been using Ottaviano a lot. He's been using him like almost every day. It's his new favorite guy. I'm not a big Aaron Boone fan as a manager. I don't think he's any good at all, to be honest with you. Like the other night, I was watching a game, and who was it? Luke Voigt was a tie scorer, and Luke Voigt leads off the 8th inning with a walk.
Okay.
And he doesn't pitch run for him, right? So next 2 guys make outs. Then he pitch runs for him with Gardner. Okay, then the opposing pitcher had to throw throw to first base maybe 10 times. So he's a distraction.
Yeah.
He's thinking he's going to go, and then he finally goes, it's thrown out. Well, why wouldn't you put him there to lead the inning off? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 2 outs, you make him pitch. Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Just last night he had Holder in there. Holder pitched one too many guys and got rocked, and then he makes a change afterwards, and then after 6 games in, he's giving guys days off. I don't.
Yeah, that we talked about that one day down.
Nobody else in the world does that. Nobody else does that.
Yeah.
He needs a day. What do you need a day for?
Need a day.
That's how you get your rhythm. That's how you get going. That's how you get your streaks. That's how you get, back into the groove.
Right.
And playing every day.
Absolutely.
You start getting hot, and all of a sudden you're sitting there for 2 days.
Yeah.
I think he totally overmanages and just, I don't know. But
So not a fan. Not a fan of.
not a fan.
How many years is this now?
Since that was only second year.
Is it real? Okay. Yeah.
Only
Okay.
second year, yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to do to manage Major League Baseball, but everything there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's frustrating.
You got to say that's probably the hardest job there is.
Yeah.
With
and
that
you get a guy
organization.
Coro who just kind of lets him play. It worked last year. Is it going to work this year? Who knows?
Yeah.
An interesting situation. It's fascinating to me is Chris Davis of the Orioles. 0 for 48. How in God's green earth does that happen to anyone?
You figure there's got to be a couple times where the ball happens to hit the bat, right?
Or it drops in, or
Yeah.
he was over, I think, over 24, over 25 last year.
If he's got a true, shooter's mentality, then he's going to go on a tear.
Of course, he
right?
swings the same way. He batted 160 last year.
Yeah.
And he was over 24, I think, the last month of the season, September 14th on. And then this year he starts over 25. So the guy is literally over 48, 49, and he still plays, and he's making 100, what's he making? 30 million a year? He
Yeah.
signed a contract for 160 million a couple years ago. And they're kind of stuck with him because they have to play him because of the salary. And if they cut him, let him go, then they still have to pay him anyway. So,
Yep.
But he's just, and he gets up there and he just swings the same way and just goes back to the dugout. That's hard to do. To not get a hit 48 at bats, I mean, irregardless of. I mean, I think you and I could get a hit once.
Point, close your eyes and swing.
Just swing, you never know. But yeah, it's just, he had 3 balls the other night. Actually, weren't bad. They were right to fielders. But
Yeah.
it's just like it's incredible. But you would think that if you're not doing well at any level there, you would change something up, whether shorten your swing, or open your stance up, or do something to change what you've been doing. Because
Yeah.
obviously it's not working.
Right.
But who the heck knows? But they're getting paid, so
Yeah.
he doesn't care. Now the Chris Mullen might is going to step down for St. John's. That's interesting.
Yeah. After 4 years,
He was.
just not a good fit. Not a good.
You know, you
too
get these
old
guys
school?
like him, Patrick Ewing, these guys, they walk in with the big name and stuff, but they don't know how to really coach a basketball team, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, X's and O's and things like that, and make adjustments and stuff. And a guy like Chris Beard, who coached Texas Tech, who did a fantastic job this year.
Mm-hmm.
He had 10 or 12 years under Bobby Knight, Texas
Yeah.
Tech assistant.
Yep.
And then Bobby Knight got fired, and then Patrick Knight took over. And then he stayed there, but when Patrick Knight got the job and he didn't get the job, he went elsewhere. I think he went to
Yeah, I think you have to.
Arkansas
It's
or
one
somewhere.
of those cases.
And then Patrick Knight got fired, and then they brought Chris Beard back,
Yeah.
and this is where he's at.
Yeah.
And he's a tremendous coach.
I wonder now. Every school is a little bit different, and basketball is certainly different from other sports, especially at St. John's. That's their their big sport. But working with the University of Hartford golf team, I'm an assistant coach. All I do is work with the team.
Right.
Go to tournaments, help them through the round, this and that.
Right.
I know that my friend Pete, who's the head coach, the amount of paperwork and just kind of that all
Legalities
that stuff
and all the rules and
is
regulations.
just brutal. Now, I'm assuming Chris Mullen or somebody like that, it's not doing all that themselves.
they have operations.
But there's a lot of stuff, and it's one of those things like, oh yeah, I'd love to coach, but if you're the head coach, there's a lot of stuff that you're doing that's not coaching basketball.
And then as a coach, you go into a 17-year-old's house and recruit him, and then your future is in this guy's hands.
Yeah.
If he decides to come, okay.
Great.
If he decides to stay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what if they go for sure? They don't like you or like the way they're playing, and they go and they transfer. I think I heard something that there was like 365 Division I basketball players transferred last year. That's a lot. It's almost one a team.
Yeah.
guys just coming and going, and so that's a real issue in college sports. Guys transferring, and leaving and stuff.
Yeah, and now again, so in basketball, if you transfer, you do have to sit a year.
Yeah. But there are exceptions. You get medical red shirts, and you can get other things.
Sure.
You want to be close. Say you have a sick family member, and you want to be close to your family member.
Right.
They can
Yeah,
grant
there's an
that.
exception. And if there's a coaching change, you can go. So if you recruited me, and I say, okay, Joe, I'm going to go play for your school, and I do that in National Signing Day, early signing day is November 8th or whatever it is, and then so I sign, hey, great.
Before you enroll, though, you're talking about before you enroll.
Right.
Right.
And then comes September, and you got fired after the basketball season.
Right.
I can go somewhere else. I can go for the year, or now in another scenario, I go and I play for you for a year, and then you get fired or you quit. That gives me an out, because then Larry comes in. Well, I didn't agree to play for Larry, so I can, in that case, I can transfer. So of the 325, you got to figure there's probably 50 of those, throwing a number out, where it's the coaching change, because there's been coaching changes every year.
Funny, these coaches are like a guy from Buffalo, Nate Oates, really good coach. He coached there for 4 years, built them back up, built them to a very, very good team, and he just got the job at Alabama. So he went from there. So there's a perfect example of these kids. But he had like 4 or 5 seniors. So
yeah.
But still, the kids are play for him and work hard for him, and all of a sudden he's going. So I mean that is definitely consideration. But that's kind of what you sign up for. I mean, guys are young coaches are going to leave at some point.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Like anywhere in life where you're better.
Yeah.
People are going to go somewhere to be better themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Saban was, you knew wherever he was going to go.
Right.
Until he gets to Alabama.
Right.
And then that's it.
And so Bus Williams left Virginia Tech to go to.
Yeah.
I forget where he went.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Rick Barnes got an offer from UCLA, and he stayed at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And then John Calipari was recruited by UCLA, and they offered him like 6 years, $48 million.
Really?
And Kentucky heard about that, and gave him a lifetime contract. So he's staying forever as a consultant after he quits coaching and everything. So
or he might go to a different institution at some point if this whole FBI AAU payoff thing happens.
So I guess once a school hears that you're being wooed by another school, they got to ante up the money.
So if Calipari has a good agent, he called UCLA and said, hey,
give me a call. Give me a call. I'll take care of you.
I'm gonna put something on Twitter. So
now Magic Johnson resigned yesterday.
Yeah.
From Lakers.
Yeah, he was what, director of basketball operations?
Yeah,
which is like a general manager job, or
not general manager. Just I don't know. Actually, I think he was just because the general manager. He was president of operations.
Okay.
So I think that's different than general manager. The general manager is more of the economics part of it. I think.
Okay.
I think president might be more of the personnel part of it.
Got it.
It's probably the best way to describe
Yeah.
it. And I know part of his job, or a big part of his job, is to bring better players to the Lakers to play with LeBron.
Got it.
And he hadn't been doing it yet, but he also cited that he has a lot of, he's got his hand in a lot of businesses.
Okay.
His businesses are doing very, very well, and he has to devote time to that. And I think him and Jeannie Buss are very tight, obviously, the owner of the Lakers. And he said that he didn't even tell her in person because he couldn't. He said,
really?
Yeah, he said if we went in there and talked to her, he'd start crying, and she started crying, and she would convince him to stay. And he knew this. That's what he's saying. He said, so he goes, I couldn't even tell her in person. He goes, I just can't. I love the Lakers so much, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So he's out. That's a strange situation there with LeBron's probably only got a year or two, maybe 3 years at the most as far as playing time.
You think so?
And they got to get these guys in there quickly.
What's he been there? Been in the league for?
LeBron's been 13 years, 14 years.
Is that okay? I was going to say maybe 11 or 12. But
yeah, because he's 34 now. He came in at 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then he
just jumping back real quick, talking about him coming out early and everything else. UVA. Mm-hmm. That's not a school where it's one and done like in Kentucky. So it was pretty interesting, slow ball control type thing. But those guys had played together for a long time.
Right.
So kind of similar to the 2000.
Plus UVA has obviously high academic standards. So they actually probably go to class.
So it's similar to the 2008 George Mason Patriots. Who went to the final game, beat UConn in the Elite Eight down in Maryland, but they had 5 seniors on that team.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really like about the women's game is that they all stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare. You can leave the women's game as a junior if you're, I think it's 22 or older.
As a junior, 22-year old.
You can leave at 22, no matter what grade.
Graduate high school, you're 18, you do a gap year. Boom,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
transfer. Yeah, so because
Have an early birthday.
the girl from Oregon as a junior was facing it. She could come out to the WNBA, but she decided to stay at Oregon one more year because she's 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one interesting.
So, over the last week or so, the junior senator from the state of Connecticut put something up on Twitter talking about coaches' salaries in college, and way too much. They're getting paid too much money, and they should be paying the athletes. So the athletes should get paid. What do you think about that?
Boy, they should get something.
Now, getting paid in addition to scholarship and all that.
I don't know. That's a slippery slope, and that's a whole can of worms. You open that thing going up.
Yeah, this is gonna be a 4-hour show tonight, folks.
Yeah, I mean, if you get these guys to sign autographs and things, and the merchandise and stuff, and schools make money off them, and these people that are selling these things are making it, but the athletes are not.
Yeah.
That's why I remember a couple of years ago, Ohio State got in trouble for that. All these guys signed a bunch of stuff, and I forget who the players were, but they got in trouble for that out there because all their merchandise was getting sold, and they were getting some of the money back.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. And where do you draw the line? Do you get $100 a week? Do you get 200 hours a week? Do you get 10,000 a year? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably getting paid now. I shouldn't say it, but they're probably getting paid as it is now. Anyway, they're getting money. I mean, there's little stories where guys that play a good game and find $100 bills rolled up in their shoes. When they go to put their clothes on. I mean, that's the age-old story. So
Yeah.
I think it's been done forever.
Yeah.
But as far as paying guys, I don't know.
Yeah, so my take on this being, here we are in Connecticut.
Well, think of all the money that like UVA just made, and all these guys, all I mean, there were 72,000 people in Minnesota in those games. I mean, oh my God.
Oh yeah, sure.
And all the money.
And the school makes a lot of money. So my thought is, okay, we've talked about this, say, with Alabama. Alabama makes a huge amount of money that the athletic program actually turns. They make millions of dollars.
Right, for all the other sports too.
That helps everybody.
Right.
That helps all the other athletes, but it helps the propeller head kid who's studying computer programming or whatever else.
Propeller head?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now
He said that.
you go to Stores, Connecticut, and UConn Athletics is losing millions of dollars a year. So you say, okay, we're losing millions of dollars on UConn sports. Granted, we have two money makers. You got both basketball teams. I have to assume are turning a profit.
Yeah.
But everything else is a loser. Now you got to pay everybody.
Yeah.
So as a business guy, what do you do? Okay, there's no more sports. I mean, how can you afford to say, okay, and the vast majority of athletic programs lose money.
Yeah.
You got Alabama, say Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, kind of in football. Okay, they're going to make money.
They make money for their leagues too, because the league gets part of their money.
Right, the conference or whatever.
Yeah,
else.
they get divided.
But the vast majority of the schools, the athletic department they're running at a loss.
Then you got these AAU teams, these travel teams, these Nike teams. I mean, Nike sponsors the University of Alabama. They give all their equipment.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are a lot of perks. So I mean, they do a lot of stuff out of that. But
at the University of Hartford, we're an Under Armour school. There's three. It's either Adidas, Nike, or Under Armour.
Yeah.
And when the contract comes up,
yeah,
all three companies will come in and say, "This is what we'll do for you." Blah 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 blah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing that for me, as a former coach and stuff, I would love to see the kids graduate from college, because you have the rest of your life to work and enjoy the benefits of it. Especially these guys that declare for the NBA, it's mind-boggling.
Right.
In the NBA, if you don't get drafted first round, you basically don't make the roster in the NBA.
Yeah.
When you go to D League, go to China, go to Japan or somewhere. I mean, you make some money, but I mean that's.
Yeah.
And how many openings are there in every NBA team every year?
And that's the thing. So you're the guy who comes out early, and like you say, you end up playing in Italy or whatever, and it's good money.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it the rest of your
Foreign
life.
country, yeah.
But you had 1 year of college education.
Yeah.
And you go and you play in Italy for 6 years, and you blow out your knee, and maybe you made 150.
Yeah.
Net $150,000 American per year.
Yep.
Now you got a bad knee. Bless you. You got a bad knee and no degree.
And nobody wants to know you anymore. Good to anybody, because you're not. You're irrelevant now.
Yeah.
And I mean you get guys declaring for NBA draft. They're like the sixth man on their college team. It's like what, you can't even start.
But he's got potential.
Yeah, but he's 6'8". Yeah, it's just whether these agents are getting their heads or whether they're AU coaches but I think that's a really misconception. These poor guys. That's why you like to see some of these college teams that have the 3 or 4 seniors. So they stayed and they're a good. And even like Williamson, he's thinking about staying. Believe it or not.
Is he?
Zion, he's thinking about it. He loves college and he loves and he's still a little youngster. I mean.
If you talk to, I listen to radio shows and this and the other thing. Not everybody's sold on him as a no-brainer NBA All-Star guy. He's
Now I got the NBA, NFL draft coming up. Our next show will be 2 weeks from today, and that means the draft starts at the Thursday, the day after our next show. So we kind of won't be on until afterwards. But let's do a quick mock draft, if that's okay.
A quick?
Yeah. Now the Cardinals have first pick. I think they go with Kyler Murray. I really think they take him.
Really?
I don't know what to do with Rosen. In my mind, can you keep them both? Kind of tough. But
That's a lot of money.
Let's say trade Rosen before the draft and get a couple more picks. But what's he worth? What's someone going to give you for them?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's a lot of salary cap money if you're going to keep both. Yeah.
Well, then you got Nick Bosa will probably be the second pick to the Niners. Looks that way. And the Jets have the third pick. They're looking for an edge rusher, or I think they're looking for some defensive players. So they're looking at Josh Allen, Kentucky, which is an inside linebacker, good rusher. Raiders have the fourth pick.
I kind of like Bosa Allen.
Yeah.
If Niners go Allen, they go Bosa, or vice versa. But I think I agree. I think that's your 2 and 3 pick.
Yeah.
And I think Murray's going to go before Williams.
Okay.
I kind of feel like
I don't think the Giants take Dwayne Haskins.
Were they're 8?
They're 6.
They're 6.
I think they go defense. I really do. I think they figure that Eli's got one more year, and bringing in any kind of rookie doesn't guarantee success.
No.
But
it wouldn't be a first-round pick or something like that. I mean, the Giants need a quarterback.
Right.
They can get through this year without a quarterback. They're going to upset their fans because the fans they're kind of done. They love Eli. He won 2 Super Bowls, but time's time.
Right.
You think they can get Rosen cheap for not a whole lot, and maybe coach him up.
They also have the 17th pick in the draft from the Browns for OBJ. Yeah. So I think they go best defensive player available in the 6th pick, and they go for quarterback if there's one of the guys is left at 17, like Daniel Jones from Duke. They like because he's been coached up by David Cutcliffe, who's a quarterback guru. And
a guru,
quarterback whisperer, as they say. Or I like this kid Drew Lock from Missouri. I think he's a good player. I think he's gonna be good.
Yep.
Then I like the Giants. I wish the Giants would take Quentin Williams from Alabama, though. He's a big defensive tackle. I think he's something special. Yeah. Clog that middle up. Then you got Haskins. To me, I mean, there's not a big enough sample size in my mind.
Right.
For me, you only play 10, 12 games at that level. Now, again, we say it all the time. Parcells had 30 starts for a college quarterback.
30 starts, that's 2.5 seasons.
I mean, could you figure if he goes to the pros, he's going to need 20 starts maybe to get up to stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously everybody's different, but I mean, I think that's, I think that's a kill for me. It's too bad he didn't stay one more year. But then they got the kid from Georgia transferred over there. Justin Fields transferred to Ohio State. He's eligible right away. And then the guy from Alabama went to Oklahoma to take Kyler Murray's place. So so I mean that should be interesting. The Dolphins are looking for a quarterback. They got Fitzpatrick, quarterback for them. But there's a lot of good.
He's an Ivy Leaguer.
Yeah, there's a lot of good draft choices out there. And it's funny because pro football is like your whole future or media future is predicated on your draft choices. I mean, you make the right pick.
Yeah.
It can elevate you.
Yeah.
To
early this week, the NHL, which they're going into the playoffs too, Okay, so the Devils get the #1 pick, Rangers get #2 pick, whatever else. But you look at, okay, a hockey draft it's almost like the baseball draft. There's no comparison to NBA and NFL.
Right.
That's it. And you can almost argue more so in the NBA because it's one of 8. You know, if your #1 pick, or your top draft pick is you got to assume he's going to start.
But you got the Knicks, Phoenix, and the Cavaliers. Those are top. They have the best chance for the #1 pick.
Raffle or draft.
Yeah, the lottery.
Lottery.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
So, I think the #1 pick would probably be Zion. #2 is going to be J.R. Barrett or Jay Morat.
No, and you wonder too is so the Zion. Is that part of what makes him decide? Well, let's see. I'm going to go there. I'll stay at Duke one more.
Yeah, you got to declare before. You got to declare before that, though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Then you lose your eligibility once you declare. You could declare with a. You could declare without an agent.
Okay.
And if you don't have an agent, I think you can. You can withdraw.
So if he's going to come out, he has to say he's coming out before the lottery.
Right. Because you can't get drafted and say, I don't like them, I'm going back. And it doesn't work that way.
And is the lottery right on top of the first pick, or is there a week or two in between?
They pick them all the first round.
Okay, so they do the lottery,
right?
And you find out, okay, you got the first pick and an hour to pick.
No, they have the lottery coming up,
like a week before or something.
And then when the season's over.
Okay.
Yeah, when the season's all said and done.
And then some weeks after that is the
June's the actual pick, the lottery picks. But they have the order before that. Once the regular season ends, they get your order.
Yeah.
And so then between the end of the order and
so during the playoffs,
you can declare.
Okay. And at some point then during the playoffs, they pull the bingo balls out of the jar and figure out who.
No, once the regular season ends.
Right away.
Regular season.
Got it.
Then they have the lottery.
Okay.
And then they know who's picking what, and then the playoffs start, and then. And then it's determined by
Okay.
So.
Okay. I wonder if you can declare and then say, "Whoa, Phoenix is going to take me. I'm out."
No, you can't.
I'm going to go back to school.
No, once you declare you lose your eligibility.
You do. Okay.
Yeah. Especially if you have an agent, you sign. But
can't just say like just kidding or.
Yeah. Change my mind.
Did I say that?
I want to go to Oklahoma. I want to stay around. But So the draft is so important, and it's such an inaccurate science. I don't know how you.
The draft.
To me, if I'm drafting a guy, I really like a guy, I would go to campus, not a GM or anything, but you send somebody and just check the guy out. Who's he hanging out with? Is he working out? Is he a good student?
What's he surrounding himself with? Absolutely.
Is he a good guy? Is he hanging out? Is he partying? What's he doing? I mean, it's so important to have the right perspective on that. I really get a guy that just wants it real bad and works out and wastes a later round pick on him, and chances are he'll stay around for you.
Yeah.
And develop for you. But because once they get in that weight room, who knows how big they're gonna get or.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them?
Yeah.
But the quarterbacks are always the same old story. It's always the sexy pick for these draft teams, but I don't know.
Yeah. So when I mentioned kind of Rosen going to the Dolphins, it looked like you just smelled some onions. Do you see Rosen having a future?
It's hard to tell what he is because the offensive line for the Arizona Cardinals was so poor.
Okay.
The guy was running for his life all the time. So. Yeah. The only one that can really tell you if they're good would be the organization themselves to see him play every day, see him practice every day. So, but for them, now they got Cliff Kingsbury, who's going to be the new coach. He said he wanted Murray from the beginning. That could be a smokescreen too. He could just be saying that.
Yeah.
And he's sticking with Rosen. It's crazy to have.
If you're going to stick with Rosen and pick up a real solid left tackle, and,
which would be better.
Create a running game.
It would make Rosen better if he had some protection, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
Or you trade the #1 pick for maybe 2 first rounders to get 2 linemen. Whatever you want to do.
Right.
That to me, if you're a team that needs a lot of help, I would trade that 1 pick because one player is not going to do it for you.
Nope.
I would trade that and get 2 or 3 picks and hopefully make good choices. But you're probably not making good choices because you're in that position in the first place. So,
that's fair.
Yeah, you're not scouting right. You're not getting the right guys.
Yeah.
But I think New England looks for a quarterback too at some point. If they have like 4th, 5th pick.
By the way, we haven't had the show since Gronkowski retired.
Retired.
Yeah. Is he 30 years old?
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Boy, that guy just got the tar beat out of him every Sunday.
Yeah. And
But I had heard something that he has not spent a penny of his game check.
really.
That after his first couple of years or whatever else,
kidding.
he's lived very modestly,
Wow.
solely on whatever endorsement money he gets, and he's on a TV. It's actually a pretty funny show. My daughter and I watch it sometimes in the morning, and it's like on Nickelodeon.
Really?
And it's Gronk and these two other people, and they look at it. It's like a kid's version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh my God.
So these users submitted. They send in
fun.
these people falling off skateboards or whatever else.
Charismatic guy.
And it's actually an enjoyable show to watch. So he gets paid for
actually was
that,
on,
and then whatever else.
Him and his brothers were actually on Shark Tank one night.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they had I think it was a water, like a dispenser for water and whatnot, and it was the Gronk thing or something. I don't know, I forget what, but actually, I think Mark Cuban, one of those guys, actually made a deal with him.
Yep.
It was his brothers more than Gronk. He was there. It was 5 of them. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, go with the Gronk thing. So yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. But anyway, so we got the draft coming up, and we got NBA playoffs coming up. Who do you pick in the NBA? You watching that at all?
I'm not a big NBA guy.
Yeah. Still jockeying for position as far as first round and all that kind of stuff.
I always have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for the Sixers.
Yeah.
I don't typically like any of the Philadelphia sports teams, but as a kid, I was a kid growing up, that was Julius Erving.
They definitely have a shot. They definitely have a
Mo
shot.
Cheeks, Daryl Dawkins,
Yeah.
Moses Malone. So I was kind of like that. But
I tell you, I was watching.
kind of cool to see them.
I was watching one of their games, and JJ Redick, boy, that guy could just flat out shoot.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God, he comes off the screen,
Yep.
and goes up, and he's got perfect form.
Yep.
And he can really, and then they got Embiid, and they got they're in pretty good shape though, especially in the East. I mean, but the Bucks are tough. Giannis is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's unguardable.
Yeah.
He's unguardable.
Yeah.
So, and they have a nice little team, and the Rockets are offensively amazing. But they don't play much defense. So when you need to shut somebody down, can you shut them down? That's that's the thing.
Yeah, it's getting to that time of the NBA season where you play defense.
Yeah, exactly. or possession for possession. I mean, James Harden averaged 36 points a game this year, and Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. That's just amazing stuff, though.
But like Harden and I was actually talking with a good friend the other day. Watch Harden. Like the style of basketball that they're playing, that's one of the reasons I really don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not. I mean, it's just bad basketball.
One-on-one and step back.
And then on top of that, baseball gets. And I'm always been. Baseball's always the number one sport for me, and it gets so much, negative stuff. But it's too slow. It's too slow. It's too slow. The end of a basketball game isn't just brutal.
And then you start
You're
reviewing
down
stuff.
8. Oh, we're just gonna foul. The last 2 minutes takes 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And at that point, I just want to go to bed.
Actually, there was a big call in the UVA game where they said the ball went off the Texas Tech game when it went off the guy's fingertip. You see that thing?
Yeah.
A minute to go, and that was just, I mean, fingertip. It looked exactly.
And well, UVA in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Got a call.
Yeah.
For on a three, guy was trying a 3-point shot. Right. They called the foul there. They missed the double dribble right before that.
The double dribble is in all my years of basketball, I didn't know that either. That it went off your own foot and then it's like a stoppage dribble. Yeah. But the guy was grabbing him anyway. And the funny part about that, the guy was grabbing him, and they didn't call the foul. If he would have let him go, he would have had a launch off a 40-footer, which probably wouldn't have gone, and they would not be national champion.
Yeah.
So all those things are amazing. How that happens. Yeah. How that happens. So. But, all right, so your final pick for the Masters is?
Final pick for the Masters, Tommy Fleetwood.
Fleetwood.
First and final.
You going with Fleetwood?
Hey, yeah. Like I say, I'm going to take Tommy Fleetwood for every major until he wins. But honestly, in this year, it's not his first Masters this time.
I'm going with John Daly.
He's seen it before. He's not playing.
If he was.
He said earlier this week, they were talking about, they were saying the champions dinner. He said, if I ever won it, there'd be no suits and we'd eat McDonald's.
All right, George.
Thanks, Joe.
God bless.
Have a great week.
All right.